So you've been talking to a girl that you really like and you thought you had chemistry with, and she ghosted you. And now you're thinking, what the hell happened? Why did it happen? Who did it happen with? And your head's about to explode. You're just so angry. Well, stick around and I'm going to teach you exactly how to deal with that. What's going on, guys? My name is Assam from dopelifecoaching.com, and today I'm going to teach you how to deal with a girl that you really liked after she ghosted you out of nowhere. So a common thing that happens when it comes to dating between, either if it's a guy or a girl, that when two people start dating, they meet and then they start dating, unfortunately, this is the really harsh truth, but one of them starts to ghost the other person. I know it's super disrespectful and it's not the right or the classless, it's not the classful, it's the classless way to deal with it. And one of them just ghosts them. One of them just goes to the other person. And then the other person is just left confused and wondering, and they don't know what to do about it. I get it, it's super disrespectful, but the harsh reality is it does happen. As a matter of fact, it happened to me personally recently, but I knew how to deal with it and flip the script so that I could be the one in control of the situation. So first things first, here's the generic truth. The generic truth is you shouldn't overthink it. Why? Overthink it is going to do absolutely nothing. Why am I saying that? Because whether it's your fault, you've done too many things wrong to cause her to be turned off and to ghost you, or whether you've done nothing at all and she's dealing with a family situation, she's dealing with an ex or something like that. The bottom of the line is, at this point, it doesn't really matter because you can't control that. What you can control is your response to it. So at this point, you're probably overthinking. The generic advice, yet the true advice is don't overthink it. Just do nothing at this point. Why? At this point, you've probably more than likely called and texted, or called or texted, or a mixture of both. And you're thinking, why the fuck can't I get them on the phone? How come she's not answering? I'm frustrated. This is just not the right way to do things. I thought everything was going well. Unfortunately, dude, that's not the way to go, because at this point, they've showed you what you mean to them at this point. It's subject to change, but at this point, they showed you what you mean to them. You're not priority. Therefore, best thing you could do at this point is absolutely nothing. You do nothing whatsoever. You don't call, you don't text, you completely back off. You don't like any of their social media posts. You do nothing. Just let it go. I know it's very tough and frustrating, but you gotta let it go. Why? What happens after you've been giving them all that attention, all that time, and going out on dates with them, and you've likely been blowing up their phone recently, when you remove that, they're going to start paying more attention to you. Remember, the quickest way to gain someone's attention is to remove yours, if it's been there before to begin with, obviously. So as the days and weeks go by, she's going to be like, I haven't heard from him. I wonder what he's doing. Is he talking to someone else at this point? He's not blowing up my phone anymore. Whatever happened? Wait, holy shit. Like one day she's just going to wake up and be like, wait a minute. Social media posts, he's having a good time. What the hell? Like, where am I? Where am I on his priority list? And so what's most likely going to happen after you get ghosted is she is going to reach out to you because you removed that attention. And in order for that attention to be filled, you have to create that space as a vacuum to be filled. And she has to fill that space, which she will most likely if you've had enough chemistry and have been on more than 2 dates, let's say 2-3 dates. And so you just let it go and let it simmer, and then she's going to reach out to you. And then what happens when she reaches out to you is, at this point before that, is you have to consider reconsidering the terms of you and her's relationship, because this person showed you what type of person they are. I don't give a fuck what excuse they gave you. They showed you what type of person they are, and they showed you that they're not exactly a reliable person. Not just that, they showed you that they're disrespectful and they don't have good, mature communication skills. But regardless, let's say you really want them back. She's going to reach out to you. And what do? What you do from this point on is you don't either respond back by call or text. If she calls you, you don't answer. Or if she texts you, you don't answer right away. You let that simmer for a couple of hours, maybe even a day. Why? Because they're not on your priority list right now. They're not on your priority list. They treated you like a fucking second-class citizen. They treated you totally classlessly. Are you going to accept that? Fuck no. I wouldn't accept that, and I didn't when it happened to me a couple months ago. Why? Why am I teaching you this? Is it to fucking play a game and to give you a magical strategy that's just going to work every time you use it? No. This is for your own benefit. I personally would recommend, if and when she reaches out to you, you give it a couple of hours to a day, and then you respond. She's most likely going to be like, hey, how are you? Just that. And then, during the same time, you should be focusing your attention on other women and other girls in order to potentially seek new opportunities for your own sake and for your own happiness and for your own future. When you do respond to their text or call, it's most likely going to be a text several hours or a day later. You're going to respond respectfully, but at the same time, respond on your own terms. What is your own terms? Well, most likely at this point, you're mad at them and you want to state that you are angry with them. So, for example, they're going to tell you something along the lines of, hey, how have you been? You know, hey with an exclamation mark. A super friendly hey, like that means anything, with an exclamation mark. How are you? Be like, hey, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. I didn't appreciate how you ended things and just ghosted me like that, or I didn't appreciate how you just left me hanging very classlessly and disrespectfully. That was super immature of you and very disrespectful, and I'm not a fan. I was treated like I didn't even exist for a couple of weeks. Why is that? Why would you do that to me? I thought that's extremely rude. And then you let them respond. More than likely, after you say that, especially if it's a couple of hours to a day later, they're probably going to respond right away because they miss you and they're scared that they're going to lose you. But they're going to respond. And then when they respond to that, they're probably going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, this was going on, that was going on, I understand it. You know, you should just forgive me, I'm sorry. And then you tell them, listen, I totally understand whatever you were dealing with, you know, but at the same time would have appreciated some communication. And if you really want to see me, I believe you should make it up to me. Straight up, I believe you should make it up to me. You should make up for your disrespectful and your childish, immature behavior. And then they're most likely going to agree. Remember, if they don't agree to this and they're very, you know, they're not easygoing, you want to fucking let them go because you don't want to deal with a not easygoing woman. After they fucked up and they don't apologize, like what the fuck? They just say hi like nothing happened? Come on, it doesn't really make any sense. And so what you do from that point is you agree to meet, but on your terms. Again, it's on your terms because they're coming to you and they fucking disrespected you and they treated you like trash, right? So they have to come to you at a spot of your choice that is near you. You're not going to meet them halfway. They didn't meet you halfway when it came to texting. They just completely thought about themselves and they disregarded you and discarded you like trash. But they have to come to you now. They either come to your house or to a restaurant or a dessert, whatever you like, near you. It's your choice. They have to come all the way to you. I don't care if they live 2 hours away. After the shit they did, they have to do that. And if they don't agree with it, you have to tell them, listen, you have to make up to me what you've done because that was totally disrespectful. And it's understandable if you don't want to. If you don't want to, take care. But I'm letting you know, if you want to make it up, you need to do that because that's not fair to me. What you did was super disrespectful, and I need you to make it up. Most likely, though, they're going to say yes. So they're going to come. You guys are going to have a nice time. You could probably spend the first 5-10 minutes or whatever talking about what happened in a very respectful yet firm way to show that you're not going to tolerate disrespect again. And then afterwards, you do things on your terms. More than likely, they're going to be happy that you didn't freak out, and they're going to be attracted to the fact that you put the line. You drew a line right there. That's manly. That shows that you have boundaries. You have certain types of standards that you set for yourself. And then when they see that, they're going to want to submit to that. We're talking, of course, about a natural woman who's going to like that. The fact that she did something very disrespectful and classless is going to want to make it up to you even on your terms, especially on your terms, because you just showed her that you're not going to be tossed around and you're not going to be, you know, fucked over like that and treated like a second-class citizen disrespectfully and very immaturely. Now at this point, if everything went as planned, which in most cases it should with normal women, not psychopaths, What you do up after this point, that's entirely up to you. Why? The reason being is they came to you and they conformed to what you wanted after they treated you very classlessly and disrespectfully. You get to choose what happens from here. Assuming the date went well or the meetup went well, whether it's your place, whether it's your favorite restaurant, your favorite dessert, I don't care. That's up to you. So what I think in terms of what happened to me and in terms of my personal experience is that you should forgive them, but at the same time, let them know that that can't ever happen again. And should it happen again, you will completely cut them off because you showed that you have standards for yourself, and at the same time you won't let them pass those standards because they're very disrespectful. And then you ask them, how do you feel? How would they feel if someone else did that to them? They'd probably feel like shit, and they'd probably admit that. And the idea is you want to get them to know and see it from your perspective that it's wrong and it's classless, it's disrespectful. Good people don't do that. People with good, who are, brought up properly by their parents don't do that. It's shitty behavior. It's very immature. And then you just state that and you let it go. So at this point, everything is on your terms in terms of what you want right now. Emotionally, physically, sexually, everything is on your terms because they came to you. They decided to come to you. They decided to come all the way and not meet you halfway after what they've done. And then from this point forward, what you don't want to do is text them. They should be doing all of the initiating, all the calling, all the texting, all the pursuing, and all the planning, because after they messed up, they need to earn you giving them that attention again. They've already created a void, and they're the ones who have to fill it at this point. Whether it's they come to your house for the next 2 weeks or so, they come all the way to you, even if they live an hour away, or you get to choose where you guys go after what they've done. And I'm telling you this from personal experience because this has happened to me a couple of months ago. This girl ghosted me, and then afterwards she came back and then she was like, do you think there's still a chance for us to be together? And then I told her, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure after what you've done. I have to reconsider and see if that's what I want. You know what? They're going to respect your honesty at the end of the day, because most guys will not be willing to do that. They just probably jump the gun and say yes right away without even considering what that could do to them or their level of respect for the woman, the level of respect that that woman will have for them. So after a couple of weeks of doing that, letting them come to you, letting them suggest when to meet, and letting them do the idea or possibility of being together again, they initiate everything. And then at this point, it's all up to you what happens. You've succeeded at getting them to come to you, which is most likely your objective. And then at this point, moving forward, everything is up to you. I personally would recommend, now this step is just a bonus, I would personally recommend that you go out there and meet new women. Why? It's going to take your attention off of this particular person, and at the same time start a new page with someone else who hasn't ghosted you. And not just that, if they ever do ghost you, it already shows you what type of person you don't want in your life. Sometimes people who ghost you, they do have an excuse, even though it's so fucking disrespectful in my opinion and very immature. But some people do have an excuse. But you know what? At the end of the day, most people don't, and it's just very classless and immature. And if you start with a new girl and you start meeting new girls and you're getting new attention and more attention from girls you really want, and they start asking you about your past, then you can mention it. You can mention to them how there was this one girl who you were really interested in and they just ghosted you. And then after they did, now they want you back and you're reconsidering things with them. You're not entirely sure what you want or if you even want them to begin with. Say that to the new girl, and I guarantee you she will invest more time and energy into you to make sure she doesn't put herself in that position, and to make sure that you are able to be in a state of trust with new women again. I guarantee you this. As long as she's interested in you and she asked you that question and you told her this, she's going to make sure she doesn't want to fuck it up. I guarantee you, as long as you say everything honestly and exactly what happened, because it did. You've been ghosted, and a new girl is likely asking for your attention right now and maybe even begging you to be in a relationship with them, but you're just not entirely sure because of what they did. You're not playing a game, you're being honest. You're not entirely sure about whether or not you see a future with them. You're scared. You're scared of being involved with someone who could just fucking toss you, like trash, and discard you like you didn't even exist. They treated you like you didn't even exist. Do you really want that? Probably not. So yeah, man, that pretty much covers everything in the video. I highly would recommend for you to like and subscribe the video, like and subscribe below, share it please, and let me know if any questions you have when it comes to dating or relationships. I'll be more than happy to cover them. Put them down in the comment section below, subscribe and like, and share this to people who you believe will benefit from this, because I've been through it myself and I didn't like it. The person reached out to me and I entirely reconsidered things with them because I wasn't entirely sure if I wanted to invest my time and energy into this person. And you should be the same. You should be cautious in terms of who you spend your time with and who you're going to see a future with and be in a relationship with, or just dating in general, whatever it is that you want. It's on your terms now, dude. She's chasing you. She's asking for your approval, so you get to choose. So just apply what I teach, and I guarantee you it's going to work for you as long as you apply what I teach and they are an easygoing individual. And that pretty much covers everything, man. Take care.